Yo, what's good, beautiful people, man? Peace, love, and law to everybody. Hope everybody having a beautiful night. Seems like my night is just getting started, man. Fresh off the airplane. I've been traveling all day, but figured I'll spend some time here with you guys, man, and just talk about a few things and see what y'all mind at, though. On a lot of different things. What's up, boss lady Gemini? What's going on? Where y'all tuning in from tonight? Got a few people on here with us. I'm pretty sure it'll cook up as we keep going. Making sure y'all like, share, and subscribe and comment. Always keep going. All right, family. Trying to see something right quick. Probably gonna switch it up on these people. What's up, King Biggs? What's going on, brother? How you doing? Man, I'm just glad to be at the crib. All this traveling and stuff I've been doing, but being able to be back home is always a good thing, and just feel so much better because y'all don't got no damn air conditioner in Seattle. Man, what y'all do when it get 80, 90 degrees? Like, y'all don't build these places with air conditioners, bro. Like, it's been rough. But, it still end up, I think we had one good day. It was like almost 80. But for the most part, it was like 60s, stuff like that. But, yeah. All right, man, let's talk about it tonight. Not going to. First and foremost, welcome to In God We Trust Academy podcast, as always, and give thanks to each and every last one of you and for your participation. You guys could be doing anything tonight, but if you just so happen to scroll here and stop here, always appreciate it. All right, we had a class. I'm not gonna say we had a conference because a few things didn't turn out right with the conference all the way, but it's all good. We still got the class done and was able to deliver the private banking class. Soon we'll be having a Q&A on that for you guys that took that class so that we can make sure that you guys are all together with that as well. But what's our upcoming that you're going to want to make sure that you're there at is we got this trust administration, right? Now, I've done declarations of trust, show people how to put trust together, even put trust together for people and all of that. But somehow, y'all still be messing up. And I'm trying to figure that part out. Like, y'all got to trust, and then it will say, well, I don't know what to do with my trust. I don't know how to operate my trust. etc. Right? And your trust is your trust. One, you should take the time and read your trust. Read it word for word. Shouldn't be not one single word in there that is not made known and understandable to you, because remember, you are the grantor of this particular trust. And if you're the grantor of the trust, these are your words. So you can't say, I don't know how to administrate the trust. And then a lot of you guys consider calling yourselves uh, trustees and things of that nature. But the truth is that, yeah, you guys abandon the trust. And if they ever catch you in a position to where you don't operate the actual trust the way that it should be, or you end up doing stuff that goes against the trust or any kind, like, one, the beneficiary could come after you. Two, no trust will ever go wanting for a trustee or a beneficiary. So if they see you at a point and you're stumbling upon your trusteeship and your administration of the trust, then guess what? They're going to move you out of it. They're going to substitute you as a trustee from being the trustee, and then they'll move and operate the trust and fulfill all obligations that needed to be fulfilled in the trust. But this is very important, though. All right. So this trust administration class, like I said, especially if you guys did the declaration of trust class with me last month, then you definitely need to hop on this trust administration class to make sure that you have full clarity on operating and protecting your actual assets. Especially when it comes to IRS. A lot of you guys are being hit with the IRS, threatening to lien property, take property. A lot of you guys are being garnished checks, child support, all kind of different stuff that really doesn't have to happen to you. You just got to literally jump in and do what you're supposed to do and exercise your rights. Okay? So this trust administration class is July the 26th. It's at 10 a.m. Central Time. You can do live stream and in person. So we're going to be at Fort Walton Beach, which is also near Destin, Florida. So they're probably about 15, 20 minutes away. All right. The live stream is $200. In person is $250. But again, I'm going to load you up like I do all the time. It does come with an ebook. You will get the replay. It does have templates and everything like that also within it, so you can DIY, do it yourself. All right, and that's one of the main things that I like to do, is make sure that everybody's able to do it yourself. I've been told I give too much information, but oh well. I feel like it's for you, and what you do with it, how you exercise it, is totally up on you. All right, so trust administration is what we're going to be at. So let's talk about procedures and administration, right? And let's talk about trust. We're going to talk about trust in many different ways, right? When it comes to trust, again, we could just start with the Constitution. And I'm not just going to say, we're going to talk about all the constitutions, the state constitutions, as well as the U.S. Constitution. All right. So all of these particular constitutions are trusts. All right. So you got to remember, the people granted this power to the government, right, to protect the rights of themselves and their posterity. All right. So the public servants, the one who sits in the seats, are literally trustees. Okay? Magistrates and trustees. That's what you're dealing with. So now, procedures and administration. The law itself is a procedure. Trust, constitutions, it's all procedures and administration. What does the law to the letter says? The letter of the law. And you can't skip nothing. A lot of you guys like to skip things and go forward and try other different stuff and mix all these different things together. And you're not supposed to, right? And it happens because a lot of people just don't read. You're taking it for what somebody's telling you on here or wherever the case may be. You take these classes and they tell you to operate a certain type of way. And I've every class I've ever taught, I've literally got remedies from it, and so have others. But I always seek to advance what I'm doing. Sometimes some things took a little bit longer than it should have. So what I do is it's like, okay, I want it to happen faster. What can I do to make them have to do what I want them to do right then and there? And see, that's where I'm at to the point of today. Um, and just being able to fully operate in these procedures because the court procedures is a trust, family. And the judge and those who sit in the court realm are literally trustees of the court, right? And they're also trustees of the Constitution. They're also literally there for the people's benefit. But you have to operate it as such. You can't just walk in these places and automatically I'm the you're here for the all caps name, agent, beneficiary, all that stuff that you guys say. That's not how it works. What does the procedures, rules and procedures like? I got a criminal law handbook that I've been working on. It's probably up to about 300 plus pages. By the time I get done with it, it'll probably be 400. But I've been working on it for the past 2 months. And just me going through it, and every time I work on something, I learn more and more all the time. And a lot of us miss our remedy because we choose to not follow the rules. You know how many people get something, open up the box, and then just look at it and start assembling stuff without even actually paying attention to the actual rules? Like, we do. I'm guilty of that myself. I will literally get something and look at it and be like, I can do this. Open it up, and I'm like, I just look at it and then start putting stuff together without even reading nothing. Next thing you know, you got a couple screws out. Something ain't fitting the way it's supposed to be. Maybe you put a screw in the wrong place, whatever the case may be, right? And it's kind of jacked up from there. All right. I think we all have done that at some point in time. And if you haven't, great. That's a good thing. You know what I mean? Just to be able to continue to read the instructions and follow. And that's what we have to do. You know what I mean? That's what we have to do when it comes to the law. We have to read the instructions and follow the procedures. Thank you for the gift. But we have to do that, right? Because if it tells you, number one, that due process, right? Due process of the law must be given. But here's the thing. A lot of you always, I got rights. And you think a judge is going to protect your rights. A judge can't protect anything that you don't assert. The court cannot protect anything that you don't assert. You can walk in their courtroom, be quiet, and don't ever say anything. And if you don't assert your right, then you never acted upon it. Because here's the thing. You can't waive a right. You really can't give up your right. You can't do it. You can choose not to act on it, but you really can't just give it up. You can choose not to act on breathing, right? But if you want to live, you better take that breath. You better take a deep breath, right? So, I mean, I'm saying, and that's just the way it works with your rights. You have to want to act upon these things, all right? So if you step up in a courtroom and you see the rules and procedures of this court, all right, it's literally a trust, all right? If you look at it from the perspective of what is actually going on, right? They are the actual trustees. So all you guys got trust out there. As the trustee, you have to literally perform all obligations within that trust to the T. You cannot go over the powers that has been given to you, right? You can't supersede those powers that has been given to you through trust. So they can't supersede anything through the Constitution. They can't supersede anything through the rules and procedures, right? They can't do it. See what I'm saying? Somebody said, if I would have took the plea from the court, wouldn't I have waived my rights? No, because here's the thing and what they're going to do to you anyway. Anytime you go to an arraignment, the first thing they're going to do is, are you guilty or not guilty? Or nolo contendere, meaning you do not contest, right? Now, you saying that you not guilty does not mean that you, how can I say that? It does not mean that you are going into the jurisdiction of the court, because you saying you're not guilty literally should come from an affidavit stating the facts. One, who you are, your status, state the facts that the court does not have the power to hear, to literally grant full due process of law to you, all right, as one of the people of whatever state, et cetera, right? And if they can't afford to give you due process, okay, what happens is this. Case dismissed. You just got to know how to put everything there for yourself in the affidavit. All right? State your status. State the facts about the situation that they are saying, whatever happened, right? But also state that the fact that they're operating on a bench trial, there's no jury here for you, or there's there's no impartial judicial here. Things of that nature needs to be stated in the affidavit. And for that particular reason alone, is a violation of will be a violation of due process of law and will cause harm to your rights, et cetera, right? So now what comes behind that is a motion to dismiss. And I'm telling you to do it this way so y'all don't got to run into a judge as, oh, you're with that sovereign citizen crap. Yeah, we're going to hold you in contempt of court for trying to delay the court, and they will put you in jail. They will do it. But the only way to keep yourself from being in that type of position is literally follow the court rules. You can still say all the stuff that you want to say, guys. But you got to realize the procedures of the court is a trust. And if you do everything according to the trust, because now your affidavit of facts is entered in as evidence, and now you want to do a motion to dismiss based off of that. And then if they don't dismiss it, now we get to go into our discovery tools. And guess what? All of that is a part of due process of law. Now, a real judge is going to say this. They will tell you to make sure that you appeal it in the next court. Because if a judge ever tells you that, it's because they're letting you know they don't have the power to grant you the remedy that you want. So it can only be given to you through an Article III court, which is a form of an appellate court, right? Which is a chancery court. That court right there is going to look at the number one thing we've been talking about, due process. Due process. It's going to look at the due process. Now, due process, y'all, like, it's so strict that if you pay attention to everything that happens, especially if you read the rules of the court and pay attention to everything that happens, everything that's filed, the way things are done, then you will catch it. You can literally get a case dismissed so easy, but a lot of y'all so want to be this whole, I'm going to walk in this courtroom and I'm going to say, I challenge the jurisdiction of the court. Bro, that is not how it works. There is nowhere in the court rules or procedures that says you can just walk in there and say, I challenge the jurisdiction. In order to challenge the jurisdiction, you need to prove they don't have it. Right? That's the first thing you need to do. So in order for you to prove they don't have it, is to look at the operation of the court. As soon as you look at the operation of the court, you can tell, all right, boom, this is a bench trial. So now they can't give me full due process of law in here. So that needs to go in your affidavit of facts, right? You can even go and look up the letter of law to show that they only have the power to give you a bench trial. So now it's time to what? Revenue. Change the venue. Motion to change the venue, or literally a motion to dismiss, because the procedures in this court will cause harm to you. Just like that. And we just challenge jurisdiction without going in there being looked at as a fucking sovereign citizen. Excuse my language, but that's just real. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we got to know, again, the procedures and the administration, because we always buy something and just open it up, don't read the rules, and next thing you know, you got a couple of screws missing. That's just like this chair over here that I'm looking at. My wife put it on totally backwards. So the part where it's supposed to lean back, it actually leaned forwards because she put it on backwards. I'm pretty sure it comes from not reading the instructions to the fullest. So, and that's what happens to you guys. And like I said, y'all been right about a lot of stuff that y'all been saying. It's not that you're wrong. It's just how you go about doing it and how you go about saying these things. Even when it comes to y'all trust, y'all got these trusts. Y'all got all this stuff going on to the trust. And you have to really look at it. Look at your trust and look and see exactly what it's saying. It's insane to have a trust and you pay $2,000 to $3,000 to get a trust done for you, and you don't know not one thing about it. But you got to remember, you're the grantor, so these are supposed to be your words that you said, but you don't know anything about it. That's a problem. That is a super problem. And that literally just means that you are a failure waiting to happen because you didn't take the time to become more informed about your trust and how to administrate it. To administrate the trust, number one is to do everything that's in it. Good record keeping. Making sure you got everything. But you also have to be very strategic about how you're going to move with your trust. Hey, they out here doing it, bro. They out here paying $3K and don't even know about it, don't know a word about it, anything like that, right? But yeah, it's a real serious situation that y'all out here operate. Y'all paid all this money and you're not getting nowhere with it. All because you failed to read something that's supposed to be your words. So be strategic. Like, why own any money? This is my question to everybody. Why you want to own money so bad? The more money you have, especially that's going toward the individual, the more it's going to be taxed. One, because you're not going to truly understand on how not to be taxed. Because the only thing you're supposed to be taxed on is a profit or gain. That's literally what income. Now, there is not one definition to describe income throughout the IRS or anything of that nature. It has only been fully described through the Supreme Court, to where it's literally saying that income is a profit or gain. So my whole situation is with you guys is like, why do you want to own the money when you can control it? Use it for beneficial interest to create the wealth within the trust and also take care of yourself. Everything around you should be in a trust. Now, you don't, and I'm saying that one is to protect the assets and continue the wealth and pass it on to your posterity. Right? I mean, that's just one of the main things to actually to do. So if IRS is coming after you, right? Smartest thing for you to do is take all of your bank accounts. Because they already warned you. Here's the thing. They tell you they coming. Hey, we're going to put a lien on you if you don't do this. Well, you got all this time to go handle your business. Right? You got all this time to handle your business. So why don't you just transfer everything into the trust? Let the trust own it. Literally own it. You just have interest in the use of it. Even the money. You don't own the money, but you can have interest in the use of it for certain things that you need to do, far as education, far as, whatever you want to do, to be honest with you. It could be a lot. But also just handling the administration of the trust. You can drive the car. The car belongs. Now you give the car to the trust. The trust owns the car. The trustee is able to use the car for administration, or the beneficiary who don't own it can still use the car because it's owned by the trust. So my point is, in saying that is, now all it takes is for us to administrate the trust by literally sending a notice of liability and a cease and desist letter to the actual IRS about the particular property or money that they are trying to levy. Right? Simple. And one reason why I say that is because when they come, once you send it to them, it's done. And you did it by law. There is nothing wrong with what you are doing. It's not even tax evasion. It's actually tax avoidance. You avoided the tax. So it's nothing that they can actually do. Even if you want to go to as far as taking your trust. So you can literally take your trust, make the trust a secure party, and you can literally take the all caps name, as you guys say, and you can make it do a security agreement for administrating all of this property, keeping up with, like, doing all of this stuff, right? So now it's going to, you could do a full security agreement and place all of the belongings of the all caps in this particular security agreement as collateral. Every bit of it. So once you do that, it's over. You have first in right, first in time over any property. So that's all you guys got a security agreement out there. Literally, use your, like, y'all got security agreements and just holding. I got a security agreement, darn. You know what to do with it? No. Why does it matter? Because, like, having it don't mean anything. You can have all the great paperwork in the world, and if you do not know how to operate it, it's over. It's over. And I'm saying that because the security agreement itself, it's showing that you have a lien on some type of property and you are the first in line to receive anything. So that'll put any third party, any creditors, right? Somebody once told me, basically, it's just shit you think you know. And until you apply the knowledge, it's just something you think you know. You don't really know it for real till you apply it. So, I mean, having a security agreement, y'all want to go hurry up and run to the UCC so fast. But again, if you don't know how to use it and assert that right, it don't matter. It do not matter at all. But you can, though. You can use it with anybody. That's why I also say, like, you can transfer your name in the trust. Yeah, for all y'all got y'all name trademark, yeah, that's great. You can do it, whatever the case may be. But when you put it into the trust, you should literally use that. Like, think about all these people, and I'm serious when I say this. Think about all the times they send you something in the mail saying, hey, you're pre-approved. Now, mind you, this name belongs to the trust now. right? So if it belongs to the trust, it's the trust job to say, hey, I see you using the asset of the trust and you have not been given full permission. So for the use of this, here's an invoice. And I would do the invoice for how much ever they're saying that they're going to give you in credit or that you pre-approved for. Or you could do it more. It's totally up to you. But right then and there, they have to because they don't have permission to use it. And see, these people will send you all kind of mail daily. I think every time I go out to my mom's crib, man, I got about 20 different letters from 20 different credit card companies, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Private lenders. I'm getting offered money every day, hundreds and thousands of dollars. And it's just to the point to where you got to understand that having that power, yeah, they do be violating because it is soliciting. But you know, you just got to really realize what you have in the game that's being played here. Because, like, remember, we in the world of commerce, we all merchants. So to me, as a merchant, everything for sale over here. Like that's just how I think. Like, okay, if we all operate in commerce and we're gonna operate in this commercial world in a certain type of way, then okay, let me put a value on everything that's going around. All right. Everything that's going around, I'm putting a value on it. I don't care. I don't care what it is. Name got a value. Signature got a value. Time got a value. Whatever. Every piece of paper around me, I done put a fingerprint on. Fingerprints got a value. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what it is. It's got a value to it. Make sure you do that. Play the game. Administrate. Because now they have to fall into your hands. That's the same thing I be telling you guys about these credit agencies, Experian, all of them, right? Everything that they be doing, reporting these things, and don't have full firsthand knowledge of any of it. Didn't ask you a damn thing, for one, and you got to hold trust, and they just making sure they just reporting all this stuff without without any form of permission of administration of the name or any of that. They supposed to get an invoice. Facts. It's the same way that when a third party debt collector just pop up and say, "Hey, you owe us," and you like, "Who are you?" Well, that's how they gonna feel when you put everything in the trust, and the trust pop up and say, "Hey, I see you using trust assets here." Yeah, and you don't have the permission. This belongs to the trust here. Here is an invoice, and here is a cease and desist letter. Follow through. They're going to do it. They're gonna do what you want to do. And a lot of them might think you bluffing, which is why you need to literally follow through. Because once you get everything, it's easy to go to court. You got enough information to show. You can file as a trustee. Okay. So you don't have to put it, because if you put it in the trust name, you're going to literally have to go hire a lawyer. Unless that's just something you want to do. But you can literally file it as the trustee on behalf, and doing it on behalf to protect the trust assets. And when you do that, you're able to hit them with a full lawsuit here. But and this is everything though, guys. We ought to be suing all these people for everything. They are constantly violating you on a daily basis. Every day. It's not a day go by that they're not sitting up here violating us on things that, we do. They constantly doing. And the only thing that's gonna change that is us. We're the only thing that's gonna change it. Right? It's not gonna ever change until we start suing these people, these companies, and jump on them. Like, be for real, man. This is what y'all hustle should be. You should make that your hustle. Nothing else. Your hustle should literally be totally about making these folks pay for all the wrong they do. And most of it only comes from us not asserting our rights. And that's it. We don't assert them. We keep waving them. Well, not waving them. We just choose not to act on them. You guys get cases dismissed. That's great. I love to see cases get dismissed. But let's go further. Like, these people cause harm. Not only that, your labor and your time for coming to court. Everybody else getting paid. We finna get paid too. Pay me for my labor and time in court for handling the business in here today. Because guess what? I'm not a slave. I don't work for free. I just supposed to walk away with nothing? Think about that, family. We supposed to just walk away with nothing. And I can't do it. You know, I got to have me in every single way possible. And it's just like, okay, tort claims, that's fine too. It's like a individual who was in our class, and she had just moved into her home, and her landlord was trying to say she didn't pay or something. Literally, I ain't been there, I don't think, about a month or 2 months at the max. But had all the receipts and everything where they didn't pay these folks. And the sheriff came out without a warrant and kicked them out. Pulled all their shit out. And then gonna come and say, I'm sorry. We didn't know. Like, we didn't know. You do know. If you didn't have a warrant to act upon, then what you doing? If that wasn't an order, a court order to act upon, to go seize the specific thing that needs to be seized, then what's up? But see, you can't let them slide by that. We can't keep letting them slide by with stopping you and let me get your ID and all of that. Then you just go home. We can't keep doing that. I'm really sick of that. You know what I mean? Because it's getting to the point. It's getting to the point to where it's just getting to be too much for us on that standpoint, right? I'm finna read something to y'all in a second. I'm gonna show you what Congress was saying. Check out what Congress did. Let me tell you what Congress said. All right, so in Title 15 USC Code, subsection 1601, Congressional Findings and Declaration of Purpose. Bro, listen to what they said. The Congress finds that economic stabilization will be enhanced and the competition among the various financial institutions and other firms engaged in the extension of consumer credit will be strengthened by the informed use of credit. The informed use of credit results from an awareness of the cost thereof by consumers. It is the purpose of this subchapter to assure a meaningful disclosure of credit terms so that the consumer will be able to compare more readily in various credit terms available to him and avoid uninformed use of credit, and to protect the consumer against inaccurate and unfair credit billing and credit card practices. Right? The Congress also finds that there has been a recent trend toward leasing automobiles and other durable goods for consumer use as alternative to installment credit sales, and that these leases have been offered without adequate cost disclosures. It is the purpose of this subchapter to assure meaningful disclosure of the terms of leases of personal property for personal, family, or household purposes, so as to enable the leasee to compare more readily the various lease terms available to him, limit balloon payments in consumer leasing, and enable comparison of lease terms with credit terms where appropriate, and to assure meaningful and accurate disclosure of lease terms and advertising. So basically, they just told you straight up, like, hey, they cheating you. They out here beating y'all. And the more y'all get informed about this, the better it's going to be. Right? Because other than that, they beating you. Now, Title 15 USC code, all of that, right, when it comes to 1601 on and up about consumer. Y'all, that's a trust. Read it. Read everything it say. Study it. There's only one. The Bureau means the Bureau of Consumer Financial Protection. There's only one credit bureau. Okay? There's only one. The term credit sale refers to any sale in which the seller is a creditor. The term includes any contract in the form of bailment or lease if the bailee or leasee contracts to pay as a compensation for use a sum substantially equivalent to or in excess of aggregate value of the property and services involved, and it is agreed that the bailee or leasee will become, or for no other or nominal consideration, has the option to become the owner of the property upon full compliance with this obligations of the contract. Credit sale. Credit sale. Boy, they out here selling credit. Ain't that something? Selling credit. But it's all here. And I'm saying this because look at all this information, yo. I know y'all can't see it, but if you go read it, do you think that people is going to do every single solitary thing in there and they're going to do it right every single solitary time? Or do you think people are people, and if people see a way that they can act upon someone's ignorance and take a shortcut, that they're going to take a shortcut? Put it in the chat. What do y'all think? What are people going to do? Think about it. What are people going to do? What the people going to do? They get lazy, right? They get super lazy. And because that's just what people are. Somebody said, I heard a story of a guy who would sit in lobbies of hotels until someone makes him move. He sues them for discrimination, and that's that. That's his hustle. Wow. Well, it's the truth, because a lobby is a lobby. And if you're letting all kind of people come in and sit in the lobby, and then you tell somebody that they got to go, all because they were just sitting there and they didn't look like the posture of what you wanted them to be or have, then yeah. Sue, lawsuit. That's just like, all right, for instance, that's just like right now. Anybody that got a job, I don't care where y'all got a job at, do something that you ain't never done. And that means go and read the safety rules and procedures of everything dealing with your job. Go read it. And then I want you, after you get everything down to the T, I want you to then go walk around your job and see if you see that they are following all the rules that they supposed to. Go read it. Especially if OSHA involved, go read it. I'm serious when I say this type of stuff, right? Because you gotta also know this, like all these places that be getting these low scores, health scores and stuff like that, terrible. That literally means that they have to be breaking. Like if you work at a place right now and they get low health scores, like 60s, I don't even see how y'all eat that shit, but 67, 50, and you see that and you work there, bro, get you some money. Because now that means that you're not in a safe environment, a clean environment that is supposed to be according to, and they got you around some unhealthy stuff. So let's say you get sick. You can literally say, I got sick from this, being around this unhealthy environment. Every time I come to work, I'm having to I take days off or whatever the case may be. But I'm just telling you, like, for real, like this is at your hand. This is at your hands to go and do something. Even when y'all be in these y'all be renting from people and stuff like that, man, they got certain building codes and stuff like that that they got to be fully following. And they don't. Especially when you live in the last apartment that I lived in. Right? The last apartment I lived in, they said we supposed to have a gated community. Bro, the gate stayed open the whole freaking time. It never closed. Ever. On countless of other things that I could think of. That's a breach of contract. Just that simple. There was no protection or anything like that. It's a breach of contract. Y'all got to start paying attention to this type of stuff. Like, okay, y'all remember when they had to start putting the caution hot sign because somebody on the coffee, I think it was McDonald's, somebody got some coffee and they didn't have the caution sign, even though we all know coffee is hot. They wasted on their damn self and sued them. So now they had to put caution sign, just like the individual who was eating at McDonald's and he ended up getting fat. And they sued McDonald's because they didn't have the nutrients, the nutrition up there like they do now, about how much is in what, the calories, all of that type of stuff. Yeah. My storage unit gate has been broke for 2 months. I think it's a breach. Ain't no think. It is a breach. Anything that's supposed to be fully offered into that, it has to be done. I'm letting y'all know, like, we just got to be more hip to what's going on. Understand procedures in the administration. Everything has to be administrated perfectly, right? I literally just got into a new house, right? And it was just certain things that were supposed to be there, and they went to asking questions, and guess what? So did I. I got a lot of questions to ask too. Because, and then once they see that you serious, they like, oh, we got to correct this. Just somebody we can't play with because they'll sue us. And for sure, I will. That's just like, okay, here's another one. Y'all driving down the road, you hit a pothole. That pothole bust your tires, bust your rim up, put you on the side of the road. Who's supposed to be getting sued? Who's supposed to be getting sued? The city. That's just like if you driving and you hit the road gets flooded and you do what they call a what do you call it, guys? You know what I'm talking about when you hit the water. Hydroplaning. So if you do that, based off them never fixing the roads to where the water's supposed to rush off the road, not onto the road. Same thing. They getting sued. I know somebody that had a wreck like that in Memphis. Literally. Water everywhere. Hydroplane it. Like they end up hitting the guardrail, stuff like that. City's fault. Right? I also had one where an individual was hit by the police from behind. They turned around and gave them a ticket after they the one hit them. Lawsuit. Lawsuit again. Just like I could go on, y'all. I could go on about so much that y'all got, like, we don't take advantage of this though. We just sit back and let the tire get busted and go on back. We don't hold the city or the county or the state accountable for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But they holding you accountable for everything. There's no balance in the law here. And the only thing that's gonna balance it is if people start becoming knowledgeable of the law and exercising it to the fullest. We can't be letting these people just slide. Right? If they pull you over, ask for your name, get your ID. They do all of that, right? And then they let you go. That's false imprisonment. They had no reason to detain you, none whatsoever. That's the reason why everything that they do has to be without a reasonable doubt. They have to make sure and know that they know that they know that you are in suspicion of articulating a crime. Now, saying to somebody, oh, it was a 6'2" black male, whatever. Like you can't, that's not enough to walk up to somebody and say, I need to see your ID. I'm doing an investigation here. Well, if you're doing an investigation, that means you need to know the individual that you're looking for by name. If you can't point out by name, matter of fact, you need to go get you a full search warrant. Otherwise, you need to continue your full investigation. Now, if they ask for the ID, the next thing you say is what? Am I under arrest? Or will I be detained or put under arrest if I do not give my ID? They say yes. Now you are being coerced and under duress. Now you give it to them. As soon as you give it to them, they go run everything. Cool. They let you go, smile in their face, and just say, see you in court, buddy. Go about your business. Or if they run your name and everything and say, hey, you got a warrant out for your arrest, the first thing you should do is what? What's the first thing you should do? What's the first thing you should do? Ask for it. Exactly. You have to request it on the scene. Ask them to have it. Request the warrant right then and there on the scene. Because the thing about a warrant is always issued, one, by a judge to a specific officer to go and seize a person or thing, right? The thing that needs to be ceased, right? If they can't do that and give you that where it's been signed and sealed by the judge, then you have to know right then and there that's violation of due process of law. That's violation of the procedures of the letter of law. Due process is major. And then even if they do get a warrant, they have to take you straight to the magistrate. And it can't be another officer. It's got to be the arresting officer who has to take you. That's the thing. Now, the question is this. How many people out here really know that there are two functioning governments right now? One is played up on by the democracy, which is where the U.S. citizen was created. And then the other is where the people are, whom the people created the states, and so on. They exist. But if you're not aware of that, then you're going to think that you got to have the right to, because like, and I'm going to say this, they'll be like a driver's license is for public safety. Bullshit. It's been more wrecks whether people got a driver's license or not. They still having wrecks. Driver's license does not prevent anybody from drunk driving. It don't. Driver's license don't prevent from anybody getting on their phone and not looking and hitting somebody. It does not give any type of safety, none whatsoever. Ever. I don't know, man. Trump do a lot. Trump do a whole lot. And a lot is not going to be understood about Trump, about what he do, because people are ignorant of the law. And that's just real. They don't get it. They don't see it. They don't understand it. But, what is the registration for? We know what the registration for, because when you register your car, you're placing it into the public trust, okay, of the state. And when you put it into the public trust of the state, they give it back to you as in beneficial use. All right? He trying to free us. We already free. You already free. Man, here's the thing. Trump can get on there and tell everybody every single thing and do this and do that. But if people don't get up there and assert the right, that's my thing. People, like, he can get up there and say all kind of stuff, but people still not going to assert it. Like, you're not going to act upon your right. And that's just what it is. People scared as shit. People live in fear all day long. Y'all let these people, fear mongers, amongst you all day long. No, we're not. If they don't do the paperwork don't make you free. You can put all the paperwork you want, and I keep saying this because I've watched it happen. People do paperwork all the time. All right, when you say paperwork, let me clarify, because you're kind of right and then it's kind of no. When you say paperwork, that means that you asserting your right through the procedures that you need to when it's time to do so. Or just having a bunch of paperwork where you did such and such and then you just set it on your desk. Like I said, people got UCCs and don't know shit about what to do with it. People got security agreements, don't know how to exercise or use it. People write affidavits and declarations all day long, have no idea how to step into court and use the rules and procedures of the court, which is a trust, and to get the remedy they want. And the thing about it is, I've done this for people that don't got nothing. They don't got all this stuff that they tell you to go get, and beat plenty of cases because I just used the letter of law. I just used the rules and procedure because I know one thing about people. Y'all like to break rules. If you can do a shortcut and do something without having, you gonna do it. Do y'all literally think every police officer right now has a license and a bond? So my question is this: why don't anybody ever do a motion of production to show and prove that the actual officer was operating lawfully? Was they lawfully? Or was they operating lawfully during the time of them arresting you? Talking about the 14th Amendment? Yeah, I feel you. But even the 14th Amendment is just a presumption, though. It ain't even something that's saying that you are. It's just presumed. Because we talked about this the other day. It says that, like, people are born into the United States. And when people, now, an ordinary person will hear that, oh, they were born into the United States. They're going to think that they were born into one of the Union states, like Georgia or Tennessee or something like that. That's not what that means. It literally means that you were born in the federal jurisdiction as a U.S. citizen. That's what that means. Then you got people who were born on the Republic soil, all right, who have a right of soil. A U.S. citizen don't have a right of soil, ever, because it was created by Congress. Congress created that, right? So I know we on the same track, boy. But it's just being real. Like, people don't get it. People don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that and I'm glad you're saying what you're saying right now too, because people got to learn to assert this on the record. Like, learn to ask the right questions. Y'all don't got to go in there trying to be the big bad and this court don't got power over me or whatever. Use their procedures and show them they don't have the power, because it's simple to do. Your affidavit is facts. You know more about you than anybody. You can tell your own story of what happened, etc., whatever the case may be. Dismiss the case. Motion to dismiss is the first thing we should even be trying to do. You know what I'm saying? If we do that and they deny it, and here's the thing, don't get mad. Don't get upset because they deny a motion. Don't get upset because they didn't hear or want to take the time to hear a motion you said. It does not matter. Our duty is to preserve the record because, again, it's only one court that pays attention to due process. Everybody says courts of equity. A court of equity is literally a court that is going to make sure everybody performed their obligations that was according to due process. Right? So all we got to do is just handle the business. I mean, you can get most of it gone, dismissed, out the way, quick. I mean, my last run in was December 16th. I was traveling on the land. Notice I said land, not the highway, because you didn't create the highway. Congress created highway. God created the land by right of soil. We have the right to travel and have freedom of movement up on the land at any given time that we choose. But anyway, that night they end up taking my truck and just looking at my tag and all this other type of stuff. And I can remember one of the officers walked up. He was like, man, I'm from Florida. I'm from Florida, and I see this stuff all the time, and it doesn't work. And I was like, bro, you don't even know me. You don't know nothing about me or anything. Who I am, what I do, you don't know. So do what y'all feel that you have to do. They end up, now, mind you, they didn't have anything on me. Literally had one of my passports. They got my passport. Do not detain. They was asking questions. They sat there trying to, figure out like, why is it we can't do this? What is it that he got? Why we can't take, do all this other type of stuff? So they was like, but we can't do nothing to him, but we can take his truck because he don't got driver's license. Right? This is what their thing was, right? So I just laughed because I understood that was their way of wanting to search my truck by doing what they call an inventory search because they're going to tow your car. You can't beat me like that. Any type of search. Search is search. It didn't matter. It didn't matter because you put an inventory before it, whatever. Any type of search, literally, has to have a warrant. Right? And I knew that. But I didn't say anything, though. I just looked at them. It was about 7, 8 of them. You know what I mean? And one guy just came up and tried to, like, run the whole entire thing like he a super badass or something. And I just let them do what they had to do. Laughed in their face. After they got done searching, they end up, they towed my car. I got the piece of paper from the individual that I needed to get from to see where my car was going to be at. And then me and my stepson, we went into the lounge. That's where we was going anyway. He was in town, and I just, wanted to take him out to a little lounge and kick it or whatever. And we went in there anyway and sit back, chill, and grab one of those, what you call those, cigars, stogies, that's what we call them. But, and just enjoy it for like a few minutes or so. Then we went home. And when I got home, that's when I wrote everything up. All cases dismissed, car, all of that. Got it all back. And then I actually sent them a notice of liability, et cetera, Freedom of Information Act, because in the court case, I motioned for everything. I motioned for all production of the body cams, all this type of stuff, right? I even motioned for the production to subpoena the treasury of the city. Because I want y'all to prove to me that these particular traffic tickets, et cetera, don't lead to your pockets. And I can prove it do. So that means that the one who is also considered to be the prosecutor, they judging you, they prosecuting you, and they are the benefactor of it. That's not impartial judicial. So once you know that, it changes everything for you. You have to move in a certain manner with these people to help them understand who you are. Right? And they did not like it, right? They did not like it. So I sent them a letter letting them know that, like, number one, y'all never gave me any of the things that I needed in court. Even though I won, I still asked for it. You never gave it to me. right? So now I'm doing a Freedom of Information Act of this particular court case. Guess what? The court case they act like it don't even exist no more, right? They just poof, it's gone. Like where it go? You know what I'm saying? Because they knew I was I was going to sue them. But here's what I did though. This how I knew I was going to win. Because I know for a fact the officer that wrote me the tickets, I literally sent him a notice of liability, right? And I've been traveling a lot too, boys. So I'm gonna get back on it just these next couple of weeks, but I really ain't had time to sit down and get all the way in it like I had to. But the officer though, y'all, I sent him a notice of liability and let him know of all the things that he done wrong. Everything. Every single thing. And everything I'm gonna be asking for in court. And I will take this all the way to the Supreme Court if I have to. Man. And I just said, I know that I was like, ain't none of these officers ever got something like that. They ain't never received something like the next day. Cause I did it the next day. And that's the thing about me. I don't waste no time. If a situation happened, this is for everybody out there. Your mind is fresh on what happened. Write it all down. Every bit of it. Every single thing. Number one, don't get too upset with these people. The number one goal is to go home. Make it home. Don't argue with these people. Don't sit up there telling them you ain't finna do this, you ain't finna do that. Don't do it. I'm telling you. Because what you need to be doing is checking out their procedure, due process of law. Are they doing everything according to the letter of law, to the T? And guess what? They are the lowest IQ people when it comes to the law, and they are the first on the scene. So I promise you, from an officer all the way to the clerk, the judge, the prosecutor, everybody that's going to be involved in the situation, I promise you, they never get it right. They don't get it right. They don't. The only thing they get right is our ignorance. Not doing, not knowing, and just letting it slide, letting it go. And we got to stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? So now I've beat a couple of cases without even having to go to court and just got a letter sent to me and say, hey, case dismissed, don't worry about coming to court. I've had that done a couple of times. But for the most part, most of the time it happens with me is that these folks never show up. Now, I come to cases all the time, and I see all these other officers showing up for the people they there for. They never show up for me. Never there. So it's always failure to prosecute for lack of evidence every single time. And guess what? The officer be right there in the back. They'll even act like, I'm going to go call the officer. Hold on. Let's see if we can get him here. You know you don't want him up here. You don't want them up here. Can't help but to be angry because I was violated on some few seconds of me making news headlines. And I did that. But for the most part, man, go home. Your daughter got sued because the officer put the wrong insurance on the report and refused to correct it? Do what? How did they get sued? That's what I want to know. But the truth is Angie, they still held liable because they didn't already committed the act. We just got to, like I said, just stop letting them get away with just stupid stuff, man. All the time. If y'all think that we paying taxes and y'all think that we, you know what I'm saying, like the road's supposed to be fixed, the taxes supposed to be going to the road and all of that, and there's potholes everywhere, you're busting your tires up, and we not holding the city or the county or the interstate accountable, and she was 17. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around about the officer put the wrong insurance on the report and refused to correct it. So the only thing that needed to happen is your daughter needed to show the insurance that she specifically had. State Farm lawyer was horrible. We didn't get to go to court or show our proof. Yeah, that sucks. It's safer to fight from home than jail. Hey, man, you said something then because I done been in jail before and man, they'll act like they don't got a pen, no piece of paper, they ain't got no envelope, nothing to send. They will do that for a whole 3-4 days straight. No, we don't got that. We don't got. What you mean you ain't got it? Y'all supposed to have all of this. If I need to be able to file something, in my case right now, I need some paper and a pen, a pencil, something. You can't just not give me anything. No, we don't got it. It just and you know, and I'm just sitting here. I'm rambling at the same time, but I'm just sitting here thinking about like all the stuff that I done heard and seen throughout, you know, my journey on this in 11 years. Like even just having our work session classes that we have every Monday and Wednesdays. The two ladies that said, you know, they was dealing with a credit card company. I think the same credit card company, if I'm not mistaken. And the judge was just like, she ain't got time. 18 months just for them to throw it out. That's insane. The judge said that she don't got the time to go over they stuff. She got other cases. And then told the plaintiff party, the credit, you know, the lawyer for the credit card company, literally told them that if they appeal, they going to win. So I can't wrap it around my mind. Is like, why would the judge give them the win instead of just giving it to the people who you know right? Because as a judge, why would you want your shit appealed? That's what I want to know. You don't want that on your record to have you done had 20 different cases appealed on you. That looks terrible. That looks like you are not fit to be a judge or to sit. You know what I'm saying? But they have what, up to about a 80. Now, if you go to a county and they got like a 90-something percentage, man, they cheat. That's all I'm gonna say. And yes, you do run into assholes, but y'all, there's another. See, it don't stop with them. You got internal affairs. They don't play. The internal affairs do not play. We didn't actually had the we don't know if it was the FBI, but it was some guys in some black suits that literally came into the court, shut everything down, case was dismissed. So I done seen a lot happen, but when you know you on the right way, if you ever happen to just be in court and you the only one in there and they done made everybody else disappear, you tried to call internal affairs, you don't call them. Matter of fact, if you operate as a state national, you can make the attorney general do whatever you want. Tell the attorney general, make him get on his job. Because his duty is to make sure that everyone is operating according to the laws of the state, Constitution, and everybody else upholding their oath and not acting outside of it. Because now, if you want to do a quo warranto or anything like that, you can make him do it based upon them operating and outside of their powers. And they got to do it. You can do that. You can do it that way. Or there's so many different ways that we can do it, but the attorney general is definitely on your side. Indiana's attorney general is facing charges right now. He is also corrupt. That's wild. Can I sue the police department and State Farm for denying me the opportunity to show proof? No, what you can do is go after State Farm for negligence. Because the attorney itself, it was their job. So you can go after them for negligence. That's what you can do. And to be honest with you, you ain't even got to sue them. Only thing you got to do is send them a notice of liability, letting them know of everything that took place, like during your trial, stuff like that. You know what that they neglected her on, and just show proof of the insurance that you did have. So you can do that. But that's crazy that she was sued on that. But what you can do, what was that case at? What was that case at? Was it in a because you can literally do a motion to vacate based upon new file evidence. Yep. Gunnersville, Alabama. You on the hill. Know a little bit about Gunnersville. My grandmother lived in Albertville. So I used to go there every summer. God rest my grandmother's soul, who just passed this Sunday. But yeah, know all about that. But yeah, if you can, if that's where it happens at, then you need a small claims. You need to do a motion to vacate based upon that new evidence, and show that you had the insurance. You can do it that way. I have to go to court. A sheriff stopped in a U-Haul truck and said I was failing to maintain you was failing to maintain your lane. I told him the wind is blowing. I'm just trying not to go into the lane. So basically, he was saying you were swerving. Failing to maintain my lane. And that's crazy, yo. Like, I just want y'all to think about that, man. That's so crazy. And then, like, do y'all watch cops? Do y'all watch police? The type of shit they do on a daily basis, speeding, parking in spots that's, you know what I'm saying, that's not reserved for parking, turning their emergency lights on just to go through a light, turn them back off. Like, they do so much bullshit, and we just like, oh, that's police. They can do that. No, they can't. They're not even supposed to turn their lights on unless it's an emergency. Unless it's an emergency. State Farm lawyer paid the other party. But that's the crazy part about it, though, family. Like, he ran my information and my license was suspended. He took me to jail. Where was you at? See, what you got to know is this. Again, they talking about lanes, and you should be talking about the land. That's the main thing. They just sentenced a man 20 years in prison for a high-speed chase through my town. That's it. But see, that's different. And I don't think that this is another thing I don't like. I don't like the fact that police speeds through those type of areas. They speed through neighborhood, chasing people and all kind of stuff, man. Like, that's wild. You put so many people in danger, and they talk about reckless driving, endangerment, all of that stuff, and they willing to chase somebody doing 100-some miles an hour, swerving through traffic. Matter of fact, when I went to pick my daughter up, literally from Birmingham, picked her up, and it was an undercover car, lights on, just swerved up behind us. It's an 18-wheeler to the right of us. Mind you, we on the I'm gonna say the fast lane or the passing lane, whatever. So, and he just get all the way up behind me, and he can't go around on the left side because it's the wall right there. So he nudges up beside me, damn near try to make me get over on the 18-wheeler. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, just soon as I get ready to pass him, then I went on and punched it, and then got past the 18-wheeler, and then he got around me, cut his lights off. What the? Like, explain that to me. What is that about? Like that's crazy that they do stuff like that. And I know why they jump behind me, just because of this, because of my tag, because what my tag say. But why wouldn't you bad enough to just go ahead and stop me and say, hey, what you want to know? You wasn't gonna win, but you know, I had my whole family with me that day anyway. But my whole entire point is you're not gonna win. Not with me. Because I understand who I am as a man of the land who has a right to the soil and freedom of movement on the land. Anywhere. I do not travel up on the highways. I travel on the land. That which is built on the land is attached to the land. And, well, we're the proprietors of that land, the people. We're going to always have that right. But again, that's one of those things where I say people be mixing these stuff up and y'all will go in and say, I got a right to travel up on the highway. No, you don't. And they laugh in your face because you're mixing two things. See, here's the thing about rights. Every right that people had before the Constitution ever came into place, all right, it has to come forward. You never can lose it. So that's the reason why they say the enumerated rights, et cetera, because you can't list, the Constitution would literally be freaking 3,000 pages long if we mention every single right. It'll be long, like super long. If we got to sit down and mention every right that is protected in the Constitution. But the reason why they said it that way is because the people, one, supposed to know their right, and you have to assert the right. It tells you in the Declaration of Independence, you're the one that has to assert the right. Right? Just like firearm and the right to bear arms, yeah, you don't. A firearm is a term created by the state. I'm glad you said that. So we don't carry firearms. We're just bearing arms, which you always have a right to do. And not only that, we're bearing arms in defense. See what I'm saying? So if you got a gun, if you go and get these gun charges, then again, you need to know how to step into the court and literally say, I want you to prove willful intent where I was going to cause harm by exercising my right to bear arms for my defense. Yeah. You can say that all day. And they can't prove it. Because one, they don't. The only way they can be able to prove it, something like that, if somebody made a phone call on you, they got text messages and stuff like that, you're threatening them and you're gonna shoot them and you're gonna do all of that type of stuff, right? Now you do got the right to bear arms, but not to make war. Just for defense. That's the difference. You do have the right to establish a militia. We always got that right to protect the people. But make sure that we truly operate, man. But I just wanted to chop it up with you guys tonight. We're going to do a little something special in the Rising. So if you guys can make it here, catch us here. If not, then hey, maybe you'll catch us another time. Make sure you like, share, and follow. Like I said, we're going to do a whole lot of stuff different for those of you that's been around. But if you want to meet us, come to the Trust Administration class, the conference. It's going to be in Fort Walton Beach, also down by Destin, Florida. So you guys are more than welcome to come out there with us as well. Also, be watching as well as we do give upsells and stuff like that. So you might be able to get in this class for $150, who knows? But again, just be paying attention. In God We Trust Academy.com. And if you want to be added to our email list, because that's where all the special activities goes down, discounts, stuff like that, admin at InGodWeTrustAcademy.org. Again, admin at InGodWeTrustAcademy.org. Hop on there with us. And yeah, man, y'all enjoy. I am about to go get some rest for the night, and I'll catch y'all in the rising.